Hi, everyone. Welcome back to The Moment Live. It's your host, Meredith Lynch. I'm with my friend and confidant, Rebecca Sananez. It is Friday, April 14th. We're doing a wrap-up show, which is always fun, and there's so many headlines happening. And also, I think the, sort of nice thing is for the last couple of weeks, I felt like everything has been so heavy. And some of these I feel like we can have a little bit of a lighter conversation about. So first and foremost, Karoline Leavitt has announced that she will be leaving the White House. She actually recently just came back from maternity leave, so we'll talk a little bit about her leaving and who her replacement might be. Meanwhile, Alex Cooper got a major investment in her company over the last week. Bloomberg has reported, though, that her beverage company is actually shuttering after the Halloween season, which apparently is a big season for
energy drinks.
And then I'm really eager to talk about this story. This story is quite heavy and it is sad. I'm just like, you guys, it's been like a hellscape out there. I feel like it doesn't feel as hellscapey today. But we do want to talk about this. It's a very sad story. These deployed sailors who are in crisis on the USS Abraham Lincoln.
The story's crazy.
It's such a crazy story, and they've been out there. They were supposed to come back in May. Their tour keeps getting extended, and I'm like, just another thing that is wrong with the fact that we are in this war with Iran.
And we're not really, I don't know, I haven't heard about it that much.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, we'll talk about that a little bit. And then Josh Kushner and Bob Iger have bought the Lakers. And then you are really into this.
Obsessed with this story.
And I have not been following as much, so you're going to have to bring me up to speed. But the Holistic Psychologist is involved in a throuple scandal. And I did hear that maybe the Holistic Psychologist lives on the West Side.
Oh, that doesn't surprise me. I'm pretty sure she lives in, yes, according to this article, she lives in Los Angeles. And
that's not West Side energy.
It's, it might be. We'll get there. We'll get there.
That is East Side energy, some of the shit that's going on.
Yeah, but the sort of
we'll get there.
Yeah, we'll get there. We'll get there.
Anyway,
all right, let's start where we are.
With Karoline, yes.
All right. Press Secretary Karoline Leavitt, your doppelganger.
My doppelganger.
She is exiting her role as White House press secretary after coming back from parental leave. She was the youngest person ever to do the job. And also she did it longer than anybody else did it for Trump. She has lasted, which is really interesting.
Would you say that Karoline has been scandal free?
I think that she has personally been scandal free, quote unquote, but I think that she's sort of the front for so much craziness that, you know what I mean? She herself has been scandal free for the most part. Unlike, what's his name? Anthony Scaramucci, who got fired after
Right, or Sean Spicer hiding in the bushes.
Yeah, that's
and so,
right.
I just feel like all things considered, listen, I'm not a Karoline apologist, but she has done her job.
Yeah, totally. She has done her job, and also she was really terrifying at the stand. She would lie all the time for sure, but she was really good at being the problem here is you.
Right.
The problem here is you.
I just think that she did the job that Trump wanted her to do.
Yes, 100%.
Why do you think that Karoline is leaving?
I mean, I think it's probably everybody said, right? So she had a baby. A lot of people had babies, and everybody was like, okay, we know exactly when Karoline is going to lose that job. And it's when she comes back from from parental leave. I think exactly what we thought would happen is she had a baby and,
I also think, though, the one thing that I will say about this job, and historically, this is Democrats and Republicans, it's not a job that someone stays in usually for the 4-year term.
Agreed. It stays for the first half and then the second half.
Yeah, and so, for someone like Karoline, first of all, she can go make a lot more money doing something else.
Totally. I wonder, what do you think she will do next? Because she's also very young.
I think that maybe she'll do, she's going to continue to be an advisor.
Yeah.
So I know,
but that's what he says about all
I know, but I think she's going to take on some type of consulting role that will pay her a lot more. And I think especially in the lead up to the 2028 presidential run, she was very involved in the 2024 run.
Yeah.
I think that's where she'll be. And I think
I think she's going to leave politics.
You do?
Yeah.
Oh.
I think she's going to become a corporate person.
Well, maybe. I don't know.
I think she's going to be the same way that, what's his name? Oh, now it's Andy. the person who was the Obama spokesperson who went on to Amazon. I think she's gonna have like that kind of situation.
That could be interesting.
Like,
yeah.
I think she's gonna leave politics.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing I'll say is like she has such a mark on her
Yes, that is true.
that like a place like Amazon would not hire Karoline Leavitt,
Yes,
even
agreed.
though they'll sit right
Agreed.
next to Trump. Like
Agreed.
Karoline is, I mean,
Yep.
she made quite the bed for herself.
Yes, agreed. Well, okay, so reports are saying actually that he's not even going to fill the role until after the midterms. I think, like you said, I think the timing is the midterms, but I also think it's the parental leave. But I wanted to go through some of the people who've been floated as potential.
Yeah.
So let's start with Alina Habba. Was his personal lawyer, and then like was involved in some of his stuff. Is like a super hottie. I could totally see her doing it.
And she's like unhinged enough, like she'll do the Karoline Leavitt thing.
That's
of, like,
right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, and he needs this role, like we're friendly with Karine Jean-Pierre, and like her role was to sort of like be the defense line between Biden and the press. The role here is to be more like I'm matching his unhinged. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, it's
and there's
different
defense, and then there's like I feel like more like offense.
Yes.
And I think that Trump views his press secretary when they're doing the job the way he wants it as more of offense than defense.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yes.
So
yes.
I think like she would play potentially good offense for him as she has in the past. Okay. Maybe.
Next, Katie Miller.
I can't see Katie doing this.
There's no way. And I will say I forget, were you a Veep fan?
No, I watched the first season.
Okay,
but, like,
I was a big Veep fan, and there's an episode like later in the series where like there's a miscommunication that Selena is up to be a Supreme Court justice, and it's all a miscommunication, but it like the result is that she becomes part of the mix.
Okay.
And anyways, I could see this have happened with Katie Miller, where somebody walking down the hall was like, "Ooh, Katie Miller, that would be a choice." And then somebody picked it up and was like, "Katie Miller's in the running." But we've already seen, like, she's terrible on television. Like, we've seen her, like, have,
her podcast.
all but melt.
Yeah.
Well, not just her podcast, but, like, she's gone on, like, Pierce Morgan and just, like, completely decompensated. And like you said, the job here is to be, like, unhinged
but also, like, I think Katie is too sensitive for this job.
Yes, agreed.
Like, I think she's a much more sensitive soul, even though it's like sensitive for all the wrong reasons, but she's too sensitive for this. And I also think like, there's something really, I can't see her doing this.
She also just had a baby herself. So anyways, I think that's a no. Then I don't know much about this person personally, but Anna Kelly, she's the 29-year-old deputy press secretary and a former beauty queen, apparently.
So is she one of those ones that like Karoline has this like gaggle of gals?
She's part of the gaggle.
She's part of the gaggle.
She's part of the gag. She's the sorority.
I mean, I could see that because, she's seen firsthand how Karoline does it. She already knows the job. What I could see happening is him actually putting someone in interim and then keeping them on.
Yeah. Oh, I think that's definitely what's going to happen.
Like,
I think
so
you're right too.
I think that could be it. Yeah, I could see it.
Oh, interesting. Vienna is saying that Polymarket has Anna as the top pick.
Yeah, I can see that. I also think like Karoline was a relative unknown when she took the job. Like I had never heard her. Like Elena, what's her
Elena
face?
Habba. Yeah.
Everybody knows her already. I actually think that somebody who's not as well known is maybe the better pick because you kind of go in like Katie comes in with so much baggage.
Yes. Yeah. No, Katie Miller, it's like, I don't even know why she's on this. Like, there's just no way this happens. I also think, and we'll get this to when there's another person on this list, is whoever it is somebody Trump has to find attractive.
Yeah.
Like that is part of his cabinet move in general, and press secretary even more so, is he likes people who look the part that he wants. Like, do you remember like Kayleigh McEnany and, like he had like these like.
He's also like progressively done this. Because like in the beginning, like Sean Spicer.
That's true. That's a good point.
Or do you think he's hot?
Do I think Sean Spicer is hot?
Well,
No.
I mean, you're like Trump wants a hot person.
No,
You're
but
like,
I mean, like even think about like Pete
like he's
Hegseth,
spicy. No,
like,
I know
not that,
Pete
like,
Hegseth is different, but like, but I would say first term Trump was more like regular.
Well, also I think it's interesting. First term Trump was way more erratic. Like to give him credit, it's only been like I really think that the first sort of like domino of his cabinet fell with Kristi Noem, right? Wasn't she sort of the first? And then there was Pam Bondi, and but like his first term, it was like chaos from the beginning,
right? But it was more like stable people.
Yeah,
like his picks were like, oh, okay, that kind of makes more sense.
Totally.
Like now his picks like are so deranged that you're like, yeah.
His picks require, which actually brings us to our next one. His picks require absolute fealty at this point. Whereas in the first term, like there was this, oh, maybe I can come in and wrangle him and like, you know, like he's the crazed one, but I can bring him in. And all of that has gone away. You know, like what's his name? George Santos. You know, like, not George Santos. You know who I'm thinking of. Doesn't matter.
Vienna says he tries to up his hotness by proximity, which like that is such a tactic.
Well, he's a really great he's a media producer.
Yeah, but like I've known girls like that.
Oh, of course. Your whole stock goes up.
Yeah,
yes,
I know.
absolutely. Wait, okay, so let's keep going. Sage Steele is another one that's been floated. I think Sage Steele falls into the category of like, so Sage Steele is a sports commentator.
What's her deal? Like she just spends all her time railing against the trans community?
Like more or less. So she's like a Bill Maher. She's literally in the Bill Maher network.
Oh.
Yeah,
okay.
so she's in the Bill Maher network or she was.
Club Random.
Yeah, she's part of she's part of Club Random or like whatever his new, you know, whatever. Anyways,
Club Random sounds like something I would have started in the 7th grade.
Oh, totally. 100% Club Random. Yeah.
Yeah, you guys started a club. It's called Club Random. And it's just like everybody that's in it, like it just is like, you know.
You're totally random.
You're so random.
Random is such like a 90s. You're so random. Okay, yeah, Sage Steele, she's a sports commentator, but she's definitely like friendly with, like, she's definitely right-leaning, but I think that she has enough of a career in her own right before and is like savvy enough that she's like, I can't be the face of the Trump administration. So I think she's a no.
Even if it's for 6 months.
Even if like I just don't see it. I think that it's like the same as you were saying, Amazon would never hire Karoline Leavitt. She's savvy enough that she's like, like I want to be able to have a career after this.
Like, yeah.
Okay, finally, two left. Stephen Chung. He's a longtime ally of Trump and White House communications director. He's been with Trump forever. He's like a mastermind, but there is simply no way that Trump would put him up there.
Yeah.
Like,
I also don't think he'll pick a man.
Oh, interesting, because I was going to say the other one that they're finally saying is Scott Jennings, who's
That's like maybe the one man that I could see, but I think these other women make a better case.
The only reason that, like, I actually think he's the best choice. Like, if I were hiring him, like, he's a really good choice. The only thing is Trump needs him on CNN. You know what I mean? Like, he's doing good work for Trump where he is, even if it's, like, not as obvious.
Who do you think is advising Trump on this pick right now? Because Trump is not, I think, with it enough to make this decision on his own.
My gut is this is a Susie Wiles pick. I think Susie Wiles and Stephen Chung are going to make this pick together.
In that case, I think it will be the what's her name?
The 29-year-old?
Yeah. I think
so too.
Anna Kelly.
Should we put money on in Polymarket?
Nope.
Okay, let's move on.
Because we got in trouble.
We did.
We got in trouble because, we talked about Alex Cooper doing Polymarket stuff, and then someone reported us for SpawnCon. So our video got taken down.
Huh.
And I appealed it twice.
Wow, interesting.
And it wouldn't go through. So anyway.
Wait, really? It didn't go through? It got taken down?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so weird.
I know.
I mean, Polymarket is definitely not giving me a cent.
Nope.
But they are giving Alex Cooper a cent.
Ain't that the truth? So there are 2 big headlines this week for Alex Cooper's Unwell Network. The first one is WTSL, the Silver Lake-backed firm led by Patrick Whitesell, who is a former WME guy.
Yeah.
They made a strategic investment in Unwell Media. The exact figure has not been disclosed, but it's around $500 million. And the plan is to use that investment to acquire more shows and continue to grow the Unwell Network. Interestingly enough, what I thought was interesting is when I first read this, I was like, WTSL, the Silver Lake-backed firm. I was like, oh, Silver Lake, like the area here in Los Angeles that's like, pretty, I mean, like it's kind of hipster, but it's
Williamsburg, but in LA.
Right.
Yeah.
It's very wealthy. No, Silver Lake is a private equity firm.
Ooh,
yes.
You're favorite.
Yes, and WTSL is, from what I understand, backed by them. WTSL, interestingly enough, is registered, from what I can tell, in Wolfboro, New Hampshire. Again, interesting.
Interesting.
Right?
Which is where Karoline Leavitt is from.
Is she from Wolfboro?
Oh, I don't know Wolfboro.
Oh.
She's from New Hampshire.
I was like, oh, I love
Sorry.
Wolfboro.
No, I don't know Wolfboro.
They have these amazing. I'm not a big gingerbread cookie person.
Oh, I am.
But like, there are these gingerbread cookies in Wolfboro, New Hampshire. Oh my God.
Really?
Yeah, because they're
I
like,
love gingerbread.
they're not hard.
Oh no, you need them.
Like oh
I
my
gotta
God.
tell you, and now we're starting to sound like the NPR like sweaty balls ladies, but I make damn good gingerbread cookies around Thanksgiving.
Girl,
I grate the ginger fresh.
You better make me some.
Oh, you got it, babe.
Like, okay, I forget what the place is called. Maybe it's called the Gingerbread Man. Also, like Vienna, when you have a chance, can you just throw up like an image from the Gingerbread Man place, because I'm obsessed with it. Okay, so anyway, long story.
So yeah. Anyways, that was.
I just think you're gonna like the little caricature.
Okay.
The Yum Yum Shop. Yeah, that's what it's called. It's called and I sing, I'll take you to the Yum Yum Shop. Hold on, put up like a picture in a minute. But anyway, I'll keep talking. Okay, so then, they're registered in Wolfboro. Sorry, lost my train of thought.
Yeah,
but
private equity.
Private equity. So I think that's interesting
It is
because
interesting.
I think it also, right? Like, isn't that great branding? Look at that
Yeah.
little sign.
Yeah, I know. I actually have been like missing New England summer.
I know, me
recently.
too.
Yeah.
I know.
Let's keep on track. Okay.
Sorry, I want a gingerbread. Okay, then I just think it's an interesting thing because I don't think that Unwell is doing as well financially.
That's what I think.
From
It's like-
taking this investment.
It's also interesting because it went from, like Alex Cooper has gone from, she's like this young genius. She got $60 million from Spotify. She translated that Spotify into $100 million deal with Sirius XM.
Yeah.
She's using it to do all of these creative things. And like, it's slowly falling apart, and to need to take in a $500 million. Well, I guess let's say the company has been valued at $500 million. We don't know what the investment is, but you know.
Well, I just think it's a sign that things for Unwell are on a trajectory that is not great. Yes, exactly. Because the
I
other
agree.
thing
And
too
we've
is
seen it from the outside. It's like they've taken on podcasts that fall apart. You know, the other headline that we'll talk about is that her beverage company is falling apart. Like, you can see,
Name 3 successful shows on the Unwell network.
Okay, so Call Her Daddy.
Not Alex's shows.
I know, but I'm just like, to be fair, Call Her Daddy is what is floating it.
Okay.
I think Harry Jousey as a brand has been successful, and like that started on her network.
Okay.
End list.
The Burnouts is going for a crash out. Like, I mean, they're going to have to pull that show. That's the Phoebe Gates show. And now it's coming out that Phoebe Gates was well aware that they were cookie stuffing on her app. And so I think that, you know, that's going to be a big problem for Alex. And I bet they're like trying to distance themselves as much as possible, which should not be as hard as some other stuff. But then there's a lot of other stuff that is happening behind the scenes at Unwell that I think is making it
I also don't even think that they're, you know, like they had the reality TV show with the games in Aspen. They've had, you know, I think Matt Kaplan has had a couple of successes with movies, but not really. You know, like there hasn't been.
There was a Hannah Montana movie.
They did the Hannah Montana special.
Oh, Hannah Montana special.
Yeah, I agree. It just like doesn't look very good from the outside, and you know, not to speculate, but it is interesting. You know, like we're about to play a clip, and in this clip, she's like, "Well, I'm cooking up a baby. I've been busy," and it's like it is interesting that all of these things seem to like be falling apart at the same time that she's having a baby. And I'm not saying that one precipitated the other, but I am saying that it is a good cloak to hide behind. It's very hard
for sure
to, you know, hold a pregnant woman.
I mean, people have said to me before, like if I say anything about her, they're like, she's pregnant.
She's a mother.
So yeah, I mean, I think you're onto something there, but I also think that there is going to be a rough fall for Alex Cooper because we have Sophia Franklin's book that's coming out. We have the Alex Earl TV show that's going to be,
and she specifically said she's going to address the Alex Cooper of it all.
You know my hot take.
Wait, tell me.
My hot take is that Matt Kaplan hit on Alex Earl.
Oh,
And you know what? I shouldn't even say hit on, because what he's been accused of in the article is
yeah,
sexual
yeah,
harassment.
yeah, yeah.
I think he sexually harassed her. That's my
Interesting.
hot take. Okay. I'll probably get sued for that.
I think it's probably more. I don't know. Maybe you're right. I think it's probably
It's not
more,
out of the realm of possibility.
No, certainly not. Certainly not. Certainly not.
Let's talk a little bit about, though, because she did go on Squawk Box to talk about her relationship with Barstool Sports founder Dave Portnoy and his account that Alex had threatened sexual harassment allegations to get out of her contract. We're going to play that clip really quickly.
Whenever I see Dave online, we all enjoy his banter. He's a very entertaining person, and I have a very great and complicated relationship with Dave. He gave me my start in this industry, and I will never not be grateful to him. And I think when I haven't read the book, but I remember seeing, obviously, getting tagged in those things, and that's not how I remember that at all. But I also am like, Dave's got his version, I've got my version, and we're all good.
You want to tell us your version?
No.
Yeah.
I'm
can I cook for a second?
Yeah, please.
Because first of all, if you are this incredible businesswoman that you are, and there is a book out there that says that you did something in business where you said to somebody, I'm going to make up sexual harassment allegations against you, and you haven't read the fucking book.
Well, that and like I don't remember is a cop out.
Well, and I mean, like,
right? Like
then
that's like
go look at the book.
No, I know, but like
also she's read it.
That's what I'm saying. Is like the whole thing is ridiculous.
She's read it, and I think it's ridiculous to kind of then say like, oh, I have my version, and it's like, okay, well then what is it?
Yeah.
No. Like,
well, that's what I'm saying is like, actually, I think what she's clearly saying here is like, this would not hold up in a court of law. I did do this. That's what I think.
Here's what I think. She probably was sexually harassed at Barstool.
That's
From what I remember, and no, I haven't read the book. I don't really need to. I'm not in there as far as I know. But from what I remember, it's not that she said that Dave had sexually harassed her. It's that she was going to say there had been sexual harassment within the company.
Which we know to be true.
Of course, I think that was probably true. Now, did she maybe play her hand and say, I'm going to hold this back until it's time to get out of the contract, instead of like, hey, people should come forward when they feel like they can come forward. Like that's a very tough thing too. So I just think it's bullshit to kind of play both sides. And I also think I would be curious to know if Dave feels the same way about her, like of just like, we have a complicated but great relationship. I don't think he feels that way.
Really? I bet he would say the exact same
Really?
thing. Yeah, because I think both of them know, like spy versus spy. I think they know they have like mutual annihilation. Like they're sort of equally, like neither of them is going to come out better if they come out and they're like, yeah, actually, fuck this person.
Oh, I think Dave can.
Really?
Yeah, because he's just got more money.
He has more money, you think?
Oh, he has more money than Alex Cooper.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. Huh. I think like Dave has, I mean, we have not heard about, like Barstool has its problems, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But like, I mean, I would have to look into it more, but taking only how many years into Unwell are we?
Yeah.
And I can tell you shows that are on Dave's network.
Yep, that's true.
That I know that have been really successful.
Yeah.
And you and I are like, yeah, we can think of like one show.
Yeah.
And then the other one's headed to like people are like, Phoebe Gates could go to jail. She blocked me.
Really?
On Instagram. All I said was, it sucks when you have to make an app because your dad was in the Epstein files and you want to distract people. Like that's just the thing.
It's what it is.
But anyway, I was on Venmo yesterday doing some stuff, and I was like,
Wait, just doing some stuff? What were you
looking
doing?
at something, and I was like, I should just Venmo request Phoebe Gates.
That's a great idea.
Because I was like, I do affiliate type things through ShopMy, and I'm like, what if Fia took some of my commissions?
Oh,
right? Like, what if
yeah.
I didn't get some commissions because of Fia's cookie stuffing? So what if I just invoice her like $200 on Venmo?
She can afford it.
Yeah. Anyway, I think we'll just have to wait and see with Alex. Where do you think Alex will be 5 years from now?
That is a fantastic question. I think she will. I mean, I hate to say this. I think she's going to be in the exact same place she is now. I think she's going to continue to do Call Her Daddy. I think she's going to like continue to have like every couple of, every once in a while, she's going to do something that people are like, oh, that's interesting and successful. I think she is really good. Like it's interesting. She does things with Andrew Ross Sorkin, who was the CNBC interviewer here. He does the New York Times. She does things with him all the time. Like she's looked at as there are so few women in media like making and dealing with money that I think even if she's not doing it well or like on the inside it looks like anything, she can spin a narrative that she's like a woman who handles money. And I also don't think that she's savvy enough or capable enough to do more than the sum of her parts right now. You know what I mean? Like she hasn't proven out that you're like, oh, this is actually a media genius. So I think she's probably going to be sort of exactly where she is now, but a little bit older and with like a kid's line, maybe like more mommy focused.
Yeah, totally. She's going to write a children's book.
Write a children's book, have
Mommy
children.
in the media. Here's my thing. Sexual harassment really floats around her.
Yeah. Well, but does that, I mean.
No. I mean, so Dave says she lied about it. She did a documentary where she said I was sexually harassed. She has a company where people are claiming sexual harassment.
Yeah, I forgot about the documentary. That's a good
so
point.
it's like, I mean, like, I'm not saying that she hasn't been sexually harassed, but I'm like, why does this like keep coming up in the ether? Like sometimes you're in the end that looks not good. Sometimes you are on the end of I was sexually harassed. And I think that the problem is if you start the narrative of I was sexually harassed in college and nobody believed me, and then there's sexual harassment allegations at your company and you're like, those aren't true. And then it comes out that people think that you made false sexual harassment allegations and you won't talk about those. I just think like if you don't nip this, something huge is going to happen to her. And it's going to be with sexual harassment.
Totally. I fully agree with that. This is like sort of like gender studies 101, but like I also have always found her to be like, I'm masquerading as a woman, a feminist voice that is really catering to the patriarchy, that is catering to how men want to experience empowered women, which is like still part of this like male group, still tolerant of, like still hypersexual in this way.
Like remember when
and
she had Michelle Obama on, and I think it was Michelle Obama, and she's like, should you still dress sexy at work? And I was like, this is
the first Black First Lady of the United States.
Like shut the fuck up. No one's wondering if that's the question you want to ask this woman.
But like, in other words, it doesn't surprise me that this woman that sort of like functions well in this space would also have like a complicated relationship with that as both a victim of it and a perpetrator.
Right, that's true.
Let's move on. Speaking of victims and perpetrators.
Well, Democratic lawmakers are calling for answers after a crew member of the USS Abraham Lincoln went overboard and multiple others have attempted to go overboard. They have reported deteriorating mental health conditions, also deteriorating, physical conditions on this boat that has been deployed since November and has stayed deployed as part of the war in Iran. And so it was actually supposed to come back in May, and then it just keeps getting extended. I think it's like one of the longest deployments that's happened in like the modern, times.
Yep.
And so this is a ship that is based out of San Diego typically, and there's more than 5,000 sailors and Marines aboard. It has not made a port call in more than 200 days. And one of the things that I also read is like, I think maybe one of the 2 port calls that they have made, they weren't even legally allowed to get off the boat. Oof. So anyway,
it's intense.
It's just such an awful story because it affects so many people. And to me, at the end of the day, it's just a reminder of like how shitty we treat our military.
Yeah, I know. And I don't know, I thought there's a lot that's interesting about this story. I'm going to let you keep going. But something that I found interesting is that I hadn't heard of it until Vienna brought it up. Like we do our editorial meeting and we're like, what about this story? What about this story? And Vienna brought it up, and then I spent a long time reading about it. And what's interesting to me is like the war in Iran has sort of like faded, I think, with the summer. And because it's like just lingering in this way, and the part of it where Trump was like threatening nuclear annihilation has stopped. And so it's sort of just gone away. And then you're seeing like, but the military is still there in this sort of, and we're not really hearing about it. And these families are
still
devastated.
Spending money on it.
We're spending money on it, and these families are like, what is happening our families out at sea. They don't have food. They don't have and people are jumping overboard, or at least one person.
One person. Yeah, that's all that. I mean, there might be more. I would not be shocked if the military has tried to, Pete Hegseth is trying to make this look like it's no big deal.
Yeah.
That's one of the big things that he's
Right.
saying. I mean, I also think that there's a reason why deployments tend to last as long as they do. It's about supplies.
Yeah.
It's about mental health.
Yeah.
Right. It's
At
about
sea. You know
like,
what I mean? Like,
right.
my God.
And one of the things that I found particularly heartbreaking is that this is a boat that's based out of San Diego, but when these specific soldiers come back, they're actually, I think, supposed to be based then now out of Washington.
Yeah, you were saying that.
So they're supposed to all be moving,
Mm-hmm.
but because they haven't come back, these families down in San Diego have been like, well, we haven't moved yet.
Yeah.
Because like, we don't know
We
when
don't
they're
know where
coming
they
back.
are. Yeah.
And like, tons of people with kids, they're like, school's starting.
Yeah.
Should I be moving to Washington?
Right.
I don't have my partner with me. And I just think it's a, deeply heartbreaking story. And I'm wondering too, will it sway anyone for the midterms?
Well, this is what I was going to say. This is why it's interesting to me that we haven't heard about it much. Like, if I haven't heard about it and I'm pretty plugged in, like, I feel like it's just not a big enough story. And it does seem to me like the kind of thing that could sway. You know what I mean? Like a military family. Like this comes to the heart of a lot of the reason why people voted for Trump, or at least what I heard people say, which is like, we don't want forever wars. Like, we want people to take care of our military. We want more respect. We want our lawmakers to care about us. And this is like directly pushing in the face of it, which is why it's interesting that Democratic lawmakers are pushing for it. I saw it was Senator Blumenthal of Connecticut, Richard Blumenthal, who was leading it. And it's like, I actually think that this is a good thing for them to push on, not to make a tragedy political, but I agree. I think that if people knew about this feels like something that people would be like.
Right, because I think one of the things that the Republicans have done a really good job of doing is taking a place like Dilley, which I completely disagree with this, and being like, well, these are illegal people
Yeah.
who came in
Yeah.
this country illegally, which, half the time we find out, no, they didn't.
Yeah.
More than half the time we find that out. But this is something where it's like, oh, so you have U.S. soldiers, most of whom are probably pretty young.
I think Vienna just said the average age is 20 years old.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, babies.
So there's supposed to be another ship coming in and relieving them.
Yes.
But that has not happened yet.
Uh-huh.
And I'm also like, great. So what's it going to be like for those folks?
Yeah, right, exactly. It's like it also like Secretary of War, Pete Hegseth, you're like, what is he doing?
He wouldn't last a fucking day.
Yeah, I know.
On this ship.
Yeah.
That's the thing. That's the other thing to me that's like so disgusting is it's like, I'm also like, well, how much of this is because, so many of these are young,
Yeah.
low income men that you just, and women that you just do not give a shit about.
Yeah.
And like
Yeah.
I mean, the whole
And as long
thing
as the
is-
story isn't like wildly out there, like what do they care?
Yeah, I know. They're probably so mad that, like, I saw Mark Kelly was on TV last night talking about it.
Oh,
I'm
was
like,
it?
they're probably
Yeah.
so mad right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's really, I'm just looking at some of our chat. I'm like, does anybody have anything to say about this that's worth throwing in here?
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't understand anything you guys are telling.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll keep it moving because you have a story that you want to tell me about.
Well, let's very quickly before we do that, let's talk about Josh Kushner, brother of Jared Kushner, brother-in-law of Ivanka Ivanka Trump, husband of Karlie Kloss. He and former Disney CEO Bob Iger bought the Los Angeles Lakers for a record $12.5 million deal. And you pointed this out to me. It's interesting that Karlie Kloss was going on her little, like, I'm a lifelong Democrat run. And I also saw the Los Angeles Times mentioned that he's a Democrat. Like, it's clear that they're, like, very much trying to do, the distancing here. And, I do think that this is sort of an interesting, the Kushner split is interesting to me.
I don't think there's much of a split. I think there's a split in public and in private, there's no split. You can't, it's one thing to say like, oh, we don't talk about politics.
Yeah.
And I think that can be true in some families where like you're a nurse and this person works in mortgages or some shit.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I get how you don't have to talk about Trump. I don't
Yeah.
know how you do it, but I just think it's nearly impossible.
I also think this is like my politics theory is if you are at a certain economic level, politics is about like social mobility and not about like you're not affected by politics as much.
Right. It's kind of like Larry David's wife hosting
The
the
Spencer
Spencer
Pratt.
Pratt
Yes.
fundraiser. Like when I found out that, I was like, oh yeah, of course. Like, do I think Larry David is a Spencer Pratt supporter?
Hell
No.
no.
Well, I don't know if it's a hell no.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh, I
'cause-
feel like like just like personality wise, I feel like Larry David would be like,
I think he's too much of a misogynist.
fair.
To be like, and probably internalized racism.
Probably.
For the two other picks. But I do think that he's one of those people who's like, well, I'm okay with it. I'll roll with it.
Yeah.
Just like I think that for a long time, people looked the other way at their cousin and, brother RFK Jr.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say also like Gwyneth Paltrow being like, I'm an independent.
Right.
Whenever I hear somebody of a certain socioeconomic background saying they're an independent, I'm like, that automatically, I'm sorry, like you're too rich to be an independent
Right.
and not be a Republican. Like that's just, it's not possible.
Yeah. No, I agree. So anyway, what's interesting is the team was only sold a year ago. And now they've been sold
that's
again.
interesting.
Mhm.
And LA has two. They have the Clippers too, so it's a 2 NBA team.
Right. And to be honest with you, I was talking to my husband about this. Like they
Yeah, Mike
sold
knows.
they sold for a lot more than they sold for a year ago.
Oh,
And
it's like a
not-
house that like appreciates in
Yeah,
value.
but what Mike was explaining to me is that like not much has happened that would
yeah,
make
LeBron
it-
James left.
Yes. He left and the team did not have a great season. So I was like, do you think there's terms in this deal though that make it meatier?
Yeah.
Do you
Yeah,
think
yeah,
there
yeah.
might be some like naming rights or other things that were included?
Yeah,
And he
yeah,
was
yeah.
like, I got to look at the deal more
That's
in-depthly.
interesting. That's a
But
good
he was
question.
like, it's wild to me that it would go up that much
Yeah.
in 12 months
Huh.
when you haven't had that remarkable of a
Yeah,
season. So
that's a really
yeah, I mean,
Interesting.
I think Carly Kloss, like, I think she's one of those people who, like, deep down she knows this. Like, we don't need you.
yeah. I agree. yeah, like yeah, you're sort of irrelevant.
Like, she's sort of irrelevant. Like, her, like, I think the thing that's hard about being just, like, really known for your looks is, like, okay, well, you're not going to be able to keep modeling forever.
Yeah.
And, not that they won't, like, have her come out and do some, like,
Sure,
and she's
yeah.
still, like, it's not that she doesn't look beautiful,
Yeah.
but, like, it's not the same. And the modeling
Yeah.
industry has also changed from what it was
Totally.
15 years ago when she was, like,
Yeah.
really getting her start.
And she never really did something outside of that. You know what I mean? Like even somebody like the Hadids, you're like, well, they're sort of like a cultural mainstay. They have like physical, like
well, and
there's-
also they've been 10 toes down in their politics.
that's true. Yeah,
Like,
you got to give
that's-
it to them. The Hadids don't play.
That's
yeah.
the other thing. And like, I mean, listen, I was the first one to say that I'd be a hater, but like the cashmere line is cute.
Yeah, you have one.
I know I do have one. It's very pretty. But Carly Kloss did this whole like thing where remember she was like, I'm going to go to NYU.
No, I don't remember.
Oh
that.
yeah, she did this whole thing where she's like, I'm going.
Was
to
that when Taylor did the NYU commencement speech?
No. It was like Taylor like did like a bunch of NYU coded stuff
Yeah,
then
yeah,
because I
yeah.
think they were really close at the time. So she was like, I'm gonna go to NYU. She went for like a year, which
Yeah.
is fine. Like you don't,
Whatever.
whatever. But she was like, I'm gonna go to NYU and like I'm gonna become the coding girl. And it's like I think that's like done a little bit of stuff. She enrolled in 2015. Yeah. So that was
Yeah,
like some
got it.
peak
Yeah.
Taylor.
Totally.
So
New York.
yeah,
Welcome
and like
to New York.
exactly. And that was like, I'm going to do the coding thing. And it's like, I don't think we really want, like, you didn't even finish your fucking degree.
Listen, sometimes I look at people and I'm like, you can have all the money and success in the world, and all I see is like just this emptiness. And you know what I mean? It's like there's a person looking for perpetual purpose and just like not finding it.
Yeah. And I think, she's probably like fine as a person.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Beige.
yeah. Like,
The same as like a beige couch.
but anyway.
Okay, I'm obsessed with this story.
You are, and
I'm
I
really
I
obsessed
tried
with
to
this
get
story.
into it. I was struggling. I feel like I've already I've throuple
I've throuple mag.
Yeah,
It's a
like, I
rough
had
year for throuples.
dude. That's why I'm.
I think that throuples had a moment, and now we're seeing like, and everybody was
Name
like,
one positive throuple.
can't do it.
Yeah, exactly.
Can't do it. Well, and I've said this to you before, is like as a single woman, I feel genuinely preyed upon by poly couples.
I can't even believe well, but wait. To me, there's a difference between a poly couple and a throuple. Because there's people who are, well, I guess what I'm saying is like, there's a difference between open marriages and throuples.
Yeah, but a lot of what I feel that I'm preyed upon is like poly people for sure, but also people that are like, we're looking for a third. And I'm like, you're looking for a therapist is what you're looking for. Like, I don't know. I'm like, why do you have to come disturb? Like, I have to pay my own bills and I have to meet my own emotional needs. And it sounds like even within your 2-person household, you can't do that for yourself. So why do you need to take on my fewer resources into your already shitty life? Like, fuck off. That's how I feel about that.
Okay.
But what I think is really interesting about this, I think the reason that I'm fascinated about this is I followed this woman, Nicole LaPera, the holistic psychologist. She has like 8 million followers.
I'd never seen her before.
I'd seen her a whole bunch. I followed her even. And like clearly I'm susceptible to like pop psychology, right? Like clearly this is something that
So
like,
what
comes
I
my
read
way.
is she doesn't believe in talk therapy anymore.
I don't know about that, but like, so let me just set this up for you.
Yeah.
So she does it like pop psychology, a lot of stuff about like childhood trauma, wounds, how it shows up in your relationship, and like, you know, choosing people who bring you peace, yada. Like that's her whole thing. She's a little bit Mel Robbins-y, except that she does actually have a degree.
Sure.
And she would do a lot of these videos where there would be a woman who would have like little pigtails and be holding a stuffed animal and be representing sort of like the inner child. And then Nicole LaPera would be sitting a little bit higher and represent the parent and be like, it would be like a physical representation of common wounds that happen in childhood and then how they show up then in adulthood. It turns out that very specific woman, her name is, I believe, Jenna Weekland. So she was part of this company. She joined Nicole LaPera and her wife, Lauren Galvin, as both a partner in the company and a partner in their marriage.
Okay.
And so this was announced that, you know, she's a big part of the company and they are a throuple. Like they put a picture out together, like a true throuple.
Yep.
And she moves in with them. Then a couple of months ago, it came out that Jenna Weekland was leaving the company and was suing them for, I think, up to $3.5 million for like gains that she believes she made in the company that they didn't give her. And then what makes this even crazier is this article comes out that tracks all of these allegations within this lawsuit of like severe abuse between all of them. Like I don't look at it and think like there's one particular person, except that Nicole LaPera and Lauren Gavin are married, and then Jenna Weekland comes in. And so like there's allegations in here that Nicole LaPera threw Jenna Weekland down the stairs. Yeah. There's allegations that one of them was planning to release a bunch of nude videos. There's Jenna Weekland left and they stalked her at her home. Like true abuse between these three people. And the reason why I find the story so interesting is I feel like I'm sent all of these like therapy social media things. And you look at it and you're like, oh, okay, like this is interesting, you know, like if you're interested in psychology and therapy, it's like, okay. And then to be like behind the scenes, they are so much more dysfunctional and messier and like frankly disgusting than I ever, like none of my relationships have, like I've had bad relationships, none of them even close to compare to this. And I'm like, this is the person who's feeding you psychological advice on the internet and like making a profit off of it. And I just think, you know, we talk a lot about how this happens in politics, and it's interesting to me to be like, yeah, there's also something really sick about how it's happening in the therapy and self-help space. So I thought this story was
I think that's super interesting. I mean, those who can't do teach,
good point.
right?
Good point.
There's
point.
that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do think that's really interesting because I think it happens in a lot of these fields.
Yes,
like you said,
totally.
like
Yeah.
politics, like this, where, you know, the person who is supposed to be the one who's the authority. But I also think like if you are the psychologist and you know all the ways to manipulate,
I
oh
think
my
that's
God,
it
aren't you
too.
so much better at
Totally.
it too? Like
100%.
and I think it sucks because there's so many good people who come on the internet and offer sort of like pop psychology
Yes.
and don't grow as big of a following.
Fully agree,
probably
yeah.
because they are not willing to like do this kind and this is like I think you and I go through this too, where
Yeah.
it's like we look at other creators who are like, oh wow, like how are they that successful? And then we find out behind the scenes, like, oh, well, they're
doing something dirty.
Well, and it's like Alex Cooper.
Yeah,
It's like, guess
exactly.
what? Like, I'm not going to do episodes of our show where we talk about women's reproductive rights and then go promote an app that lets you vote against
Right.
women's reproductive
Right.
rights. So I think it's like how successful you are able to be
Yeah.
in this age. And I think like this has existed since time immemorial.
Sure.
Like is sometimes how dirty you're willing to play.
Yes. And like whether you actually, and I think this is probably something that genuinely happens for people where they're like, I'm good. They start their career being like, I am good. And that is a part of my identity. And I really care about this thing. And then they start to get success and they start to be like, ooh, success feels good. But they still have this identity where they're good. And so they don't recognize perhaps at what point they stop valuing the good work over the value of success.
Like that's the plot of like
Everything,
Well,
yeah.
like of every movie. Like,
Yeah.
did you ever see That Thing You Do? That's like exactly the fucking plot of the movie. Like the band gets good, and then they get too like and then egos get too big.
Yeah.
It's like so. I think it's like here's the bottom line: you want to get successful, but just you don't need to be that successful. You know what I mean? Like
What was this in where, oh God, I wish I could remember, but somebody goes to Richard Kind. Oh, I remember. It's in Girls Five Eva. And they're talking about exactly this. It's like, how famous do you want to get? And she runs into Richard Kind, he's like, you want to get just famous enough that like, you can work. And he has like he has a great monologue. I have to find it about like, he's like the perfect example of like, he's like, people recognize me and I've worked my whole life, but like, you don't want to be the next level. There.
Right.
Like you got to know when to stop basically.
well, my thing is, I just want to be successful enough that I can always afford to fly first class.
Interesting. I want to be successful enough that I get to comfortably keep doing the work that I want to do and sustain my life. That is it.
I want to be successful enough so that I can always fly first class.
There you go.
And it doesn't even have to, it doesn't have to be lay down seats. If I'm going on like a, transatlantic flight, I'm even okay with doing the like business. Like I don't have to be in
I
the
like a
like
business.
lay down
Yeah.
like food
Yeah.
god style.
Yeah.
Food god, how are you always flying first class? See,
I mean, there's somebody who, like it starts to show on your face after a while.
watch your fucking self. The last thing I need is to be blocked by food god. He finally answered one of my DMs the other day.
Wow,
I know. I
big.
said, never stop being you. And he was like, people try to stop me and they never can.
Yeah, never stop being you. Further and further.
You know
and
what?
Further.
Listen. Anyway, well, let's see. What time are we at? Okay. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Well,
Time to get outta
what do
here.
you think? What do you think is going to be the result of the holistic psychologist?
You know what's interesting is I kept on waiting to see whether she was going to like address, because this came out in the New York Times, and there is a lawsuit happening, and but I think that she is powerful enough, and her audience is far enough away from the New York Times. Like she hasn't addressed it, I guess is what I'm trying to say. It's like I still follow her,
Yeah.
and I still keep waiting for like something to come out, or for her to even do like the therapy Jeff thing where it's like I'm taking a step back and like go away for a
Even
little
though
bit.
so many people have asked me not to. I love when
I
therapy
know.
Jeff was like, you guys, I will be taking a step back. Even though so many people are saying, no, stay. Even though you
Not one
explained to us.
person. Not one person.
Well, I don't know. I think he's got like
He's
some like
real
big
fans.
supporters. Do you know he's like one of the big things that has come out about therapy Jeff is that he is like very big in the are we dating
Oh,
the same
yeah.
guy? Yeah.
Oh,
So
yeah.
anyway, the other thing that I was
I
thinking
find him so unattractive.
Well, Rebecca, you don't have to fucking find
I know.
therapy Jeff
no,
hot.
I know.
Oh
but
my
I'm
God.
saying like it's always surprising to me the one that's like, oh, are we dating the same man? I'm like, really? That many women want to date you? Like, come on.
Okay. She's really on one today.
Sorry.
Poor food god. Shots fired. Okay. So the other thing that I was gonna say, and like I think this is always such an important reminder, is that not saying that this woman is not guilty
Yeah.
or that her partner is
Sure.
not guilty, but like anyone can sue anyone for anything.
That's true, but not anybody can have a full New York Times
No, but,
article with
like,
like police reports.
You're
in it.
right. That's totally right. But I'm just like, I just try to tell people that because people will sometimes be like, I can't get sued. I didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah,
and I'm
yeah,
like,
right.
it doesn't
No,
fucking
being
matter.
sued is different
You can
than-
be sued
yeah.
for anything.
Yeah. No. Being sued is different than this article, which is like,
For example,
corroborated.
breaking news, Food God has sued Rebecca.
Well, good news for you, Food God. I got no money.
He doesn't care.
Yeah, he's still coming after
Yeah,
me.
he'll literally, you're
Yeah.
gonna find him like sleeping on your couch. So what's having a moment for you as we wrap up this week?
Oh, what's having a moment for me is it's my dear friend Cooper Savage's birthday today. And she always she's a big watcher of the show.
Oh my God. Hi, Cooper.
And happy birthday, Coop. You're having a moment for me.
Oh, that's so great. Where does Cooper live without doxing
Well,
them?
interestingly, Cooper lives in Salt Lake and is moving to LA.
Oh my God, so fun.
So Cooper and I were waitresses together in Boston a million years ago, lost contact, and then like a year and a half ago she reached out to me and was like, "Hey, where you been, girl? Like, let's hang out."
So
and
fun.
we picked it right
Yeah,
back up.
that's the best.
And she's just like a lovely person and I always see, we have our Substack and it says like, who liked your Substack? And it's
Aw.
always Cooper Savage, always loves our Substack. And happy birthday, my Leo queen.
Well, while we're here, I'll just say, you guys, hey, you know what's having a moment for me? First of all, if you don't follow the Substack, it's linked in my bio. Go follow it. It helps us out a lot. It's totally free. We do a whole newsletter after every episode with all the links,
Sure do.
etc. I work so hard on it. And then the other thing that's having a moment for me is we are up for a panel at South by Southwest.
Sure are.
And that is something that you can find in the Substack, the information to vote. It's also in my bio too here, wherever you're watching this. And we want to have a conversation at South by Southwest about live.
Yeah.
About how live is really kind of the next part of the, podcast industry, how it's leading the charge, et cetera. I mean, we obviously like it.
I got a really nice DM from somebody who we've talked about on the show saying that she would fly in just to see it. I'll tell you who it is afterwards.
Oh my God.
And so we so appreciate
you guys, it was Therapy Jeff.
that. Food God.
But the other thing that I was going to say is, we are a small show because we don't take the fucking polymarket
sure
things.
are.
And so this whole thing is that you have to vote for us. And it's totally free to vote. But if you could go on and vote for us, it would mean the world to us. It's, like I said, linked in the bio. I think one of the things about us, and we struggle with this, I would say like once a week of like, what do we take? What do we not take? What feels ethically aligned with us? What doesn't? And we turn down a lot of things that would make our lives a lot more comfortable, but they just don't align with us. So when we have opportunities that, could happen for us, it's really important. So if you DM us, we'll give you a shout out on the show if you tell us that you voted for us, which hopefully Cooper Savage has.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Okay. You guys, thank you so much. We will be back on Tuesday. Our
Sure
guest
will.
is Madeline Denona from the Gina Davis
Yeah.
Institute. I'm really excited to talk to her about representation on screen, etc. They're a great organization. So everybody have a good weekend. Take good care. Bye.